The World Health Organization has reported that 75,000 Palestinians are facing immediate life-threatening conditions due to the siege on the northern Gaza. Now, how can the international community step in to help alleviate the suffering of these civilians under siege?
We have to understand that the state of Israel is committing these genocidal war crimes out of internal, domestic, political necessities for the well-being of the members of the coalition and governing coalition, including Benjamin Netanyahu himself. Benjamin Netanyahu started this genocidal war in October of 2023 with less support than 10 Knesset members in most of the polls, taking back with the continuous bloodshed and genocidal war crimes. He managed to increase that to mid-20s and making his Likud party as the most prominent in the polls. And this gives a signal that the Israeli society is supportive of the harder the genocidal crimes are, the more support he gets. And from that point, he draws his political equations. What is the international community doing to force Netanyahu to give up this tremendous support that he is gaining as long as he is committing war crimes in order for him to change course? The answer is nothing, especially when the United States of America is blindly supporting him and giving a classic case of the tail wagging the dog, not the other way around. So clearly the international community needs to take practical steps to punish the state of Israel, so they would put Netanyahu in a position to choose between his ever-growing or rebuilding his political career versus the relationships or continuing the relationships with the rest of the world. And also will give an example. Put aside the United States and its blind support for the state of Israel. Let's focus on the EU. The EU so far, as a union, was not able to take any practical steps to punish the state of Israel for the war crimes, was not even able to revoke the items in the bilateral agreements between the EU and the state of Israel, which clearly states that the EU will not tolerate any human rights abuses, which was already a case to be made before October 2023. But in any case, the EU was unable to maneuver and pressure the state of Israel. Now that's why we are asking for individual states to step up and take lead, because the EU is not taking any steps. And some of these countries, like Ireland, like Spain, like Belgium, have done that. Mm-hmm. So far, with the United States blind support and complicity in the war crimes and inability of the European Union as a collective body to put pressure on the state of Israel, it's time for individual states to take the following steps. One, to stop all kinds of arms supplies with the state of Israel. Two, to apply their legal jurisdiction over Israeli politicians, Israeli soldiers, and all those involved in perpetuating war crimes in Gaza. Also, scaling back diplomatic cooperation and economic cooperation to the bare minimum, if not cutting them off. Because most of these countries, especially in the European Union, have their own legal obligations to do such things, but the political expediency stops them from doing so. That's why these states need to step up. And I believe that if these individual states start pushing harder, Israel and the Israeli society would feel the pressure, because most of these steps will have economic ramifications. And if the Israeli society started to feel that pressure, they would push their government to change course. But otherwise, the government of the State of Israel doesn't have any reason to change course, because the current genocidal course it's taken is paying political dividends that the coalition needs it badly.